Hello dear students and viewers. I am Professor Seema Rani, Department of Social Work, Aditi Mahavidyalaya, University of Delhi, Delhi. In today's session, we will discuss about defense mechanisms, concept, types, and its relevance in social work practice. Firstly, let us have a look at learning outcomes. After completing this unit, the students will be able to understand the nature of defense mechanisms, features and typology of defense mechanisms, the relevance of defense mechanisms in our day-to-day life, their typology and mental process associated with it. Understand the relevance of defense mechanisms in social work practice to better understanding about their client psyche in various settings. Introduction. Life may be taken as a long series of adaptation and adjustment, coping and compromising. Our bodies adapt to changing atmosphere to maintain homeostasis or equilibrium. We adjust to social environment which may call for any of the broadly categorized three strategies. One, fight, second, flight, and third one is compromise. As studied in earlier units, that an individual is driven or motivated to meet physiological, psychological and social needs, and his or her behavior is directed towards fulfillment of these needs. In case the needs are not gratified soon, it leads to tension, frustration and guilt. Defense mechanisms are essentially coping mechanisms. To get better understanding, let us quickly revise personality structure as given by Sigmund Freud that form the basis of these, more often than not unconscious coping mechanisms. Personality is made up of three interlinked parts. First one is id, most primitive part containing biologically based urges, the biological self. The id is the unorganized part of the personality structure that contains a human's basic instinctive tendencies. The id is unconscious and operates according to the principle of pleasure. This drive to achieve pleasure and avoid pain. It is the source of our bodily needs, wants, desires and impulses, particularly our sexual and aggressive drive. It is the only component of personality that is present from birth. Next is ego. It includes elaborate ways of behaving in a socially acceptable way, the realistic self. Ego is considered as the component that manages the conflict between the id and the constraint of the real world. Ego is the conscious and logical part of personality. The ego functions in the conscious, subconscious and unconscious state of mind, and it operates on the principle of reality, which strives to satisfy the id's desire in realistic, logically and in socially appropriate ways. Next one is superego. It consists of prohibitions learnt from parents and other authorities, the moral self. Superego is considered to be moral component of personality. It operates on the principle of moral values. It represents the norms and qualities of individual, his family and the society, and is an ethical constraint on the behavior. The superego is able to differentiate between good and bad, what is the right and wrong. For example, a 10-year-old wants to eat a scoop of ice cream kept in the refrigerator, but he knows that eating ice cream without seeking permission from parents will be punished. The part of the personality responsible for this reality check is known as ego. The dynamics of personality is reflected through ego's continuous task to strike a balance between its desire, for instinctual gratification and strict rule following sought by the superego. People protect themselves from anxiety by using defense mechanisms. Let us try to understand the concept of defense mechanisms in a simple way. All of us quite often face environmental or personal obstacles in life which cause anxiety and lead to stress. Psychologists have given different names to stress such as frustration, conflict, pressure, etc. To protect ourselves against anxiety and stress, our ego sets up mechanisms which are known as defense mechanisms. Defense mechanisms are unrealistic and operate at the unconscious level. While one uses such a mechanism, one is unaware of it. We experience stress in our life when we face circumstances like death of spouse or a close family member or close friends, marital separation or reconciliation, personal injury, illness, marriage, retirement, sex difficulties, pregnancy, newcomer in family, change in financial state, business readjustment, change in job or work pattern, change in responsibilities at work, difference with spouse or head of the family, beloved living home, trouble with in-laws, outstanding personal achievements, attachment or detachment with job or wife, joining or leaving school, etc. are some other examples of different circumstances. Let us discuss the concept of defense mechanism theoretically now. Defense mechanisms are the mental process that have universal existence cutting across societies, class and creed. Freud's concept of defense mechanisms proposes that individuals adopt various strategies to defend themselves against unpleasant emotions and experiences. These mechanisms are used to maintain psychological balance and avoid anxiety. To manage the internal conflict, people use defense mechanisms. Defense mechanisms are behavior that protect people from anxiety. There are different defense mechanisms, many of which are automatic and unconscious. How does defense mechanism work? Freud has postulated that unconscious defense mechanisms protect the individual from painful emotions, ideas and drives. When anxiety becomes too overwhelming, then the ego employs defense mechanisms to protect the individual. These defense mechanisms are, in fact, the process that distort or exclude information or feeling from the individual. In other words, these defense mechanisms tend to help an individual to distort information and perceive situation in a different way, so that the individual feels secured. Thus, the purpose of these defense mechanisms is to deal with internal conflict or intrapsychic conflict as well as help individual to adapt the recurring interpersonal conflicts. In simple words, we can define defense mechanism as ways of coping with difficult feelings, or we can say your mind's way of dealing with stress. On the basis of above discussion, we can make some characteristics of defense mechanisms like defense mechanisms are indeed powerful tool to manage biological instincts and associated emotions. To manage the internal conflict, people use defense mechanism. Next can be defense mechanisms are unrealistic and operate at the unconscious level. They can be adapted as well as pathological. Defense mechanisms are dynamic and reversible. Defense mechanisms are not healthy method to cope up with anxiety and stress, as they are unrealistic approach to the problem. Stated differently, normal person uses defense mechanisms in a moderate manner to protect themselves from perceived danger or threat or psychic pain, while a person suffering from some mental ailment using them too often. Now, let us move ahead and discuss the types of defense mechanisms. There are some common defense mechanisms like denial, displacement, distortion, projection, rationalization, reaction formation, regression, repression, sublimation, suppression, etc. Let us discuss in detail one by one. First one is repression. Repression is the fundamental technique individuals use to relieve anxiety caused by the conflicts. It is active mental process by which a person forgets by pushing down into the unconscious the thoughts causing anxiety. Unpleasant experiences are stored deep in the subconscious mind and can't be accessed by the conscious mind. For example, a man under the influence of alcohol may attempt to murder his friend and later on gaining sense may not genuinely recall what and why of his behavior. Another example is an accident victim nearly dies but remember none of the details of the accident. There is another example of repression is as person who has repressed memories of abuse suffer as a child maybe later have difficulty forming relationships. Next type of defense mechanism is projection. You must have heard the popular saying that man projects what he is not. Dishonest person may talk a lot about honesty, pretending that he is honest but the world is dishonest. Projection is the most common tendency being observed in human behavior for ego protection. Fate and bad luck are commonly used projections. Blaming others or projection is way of coping with one's undesirable motive by projecting or shifting them onto someone else. This unconscious shifting of vice and the id impulses on others reduce the anxiety arising from the internal conflict. For example, a student who didn't study for an exam might claim the teacher failed to teach the material properly. Next example for this, someone who feels insecure about their abilities criticize others for being incompetent. There is another example for the projection is an employee who frequently talk about others might accuse colleagues of spreading rumors about them. Next type of defense mechanism is rationalization. Rationalization where people make excuses. This defense mechanism substitutes an acceptable conscious motive for an unacceptable unconscious one. Rationalization mechanism has two main defective values, that is, it helps to justify particular specific behavior, and second is contributes to soften disappointment related with unattained goals. In simple words, it can be defined that explaining your weakness or failure by giving socially acceptable excuses. For example, a man who was desperately wanted to go abroad to work and earn, tried hand and couldn't succeed. But he gave excuse that since his parents are old and there is no to look after them, so he dropped the idea to go abroad. Next example is, you may recall Aesop's famous fable of the fox trying hard for grapes but couldn't reach to them and finally goes away saying grapes are sour. Another example is, a student who cheats a test may say, I only cheated on a few questions. I knew most of the answers. Next type of defense mechanism is regression. Regression involves going back to an old, less sophisticated method of doing things. Whenever a threatening situation arises, an individual may retreat to an earlier form of adaptation generally a childish or primitive one. Returning to behavior characteristics of a younger age rather than mature behavior. It is partial return to earlier level of adaptation to avoid conflict. For example, a 5-year-old child may revert to bedwetting or thumb sucking on being upset with the arrival of new baby at home. That has apparently reduced his importance in the family. Next example for regression is an adult patient makes childish demand and become dependent on the nurse for care that he could do for himself. Another example is a person who suffers a mental breakdowns assume a fetal position, rocking and crying. Next type of defense mechanism is intellectualization. Intellectualization refers to using excessive use of intellectual process to avoid affective expressions or experiences. This defense mechanism uses reasoning power and look at the threatening situation in a detached way. Intellectualization is a way of dealing with tough experiences by focusing on logic and facts to avoid feelings, the emotions involved. It is also a higher order version of isolation and is related somewhat to rationalization. For example, a person gets let to go from a job that meant a lot to him and he was clearly upset, but he chose to spend his days creating separate sheet of job opportunities and leads rather than grieving the loss of the job. Another example is constantly repeating facts about a situation rather than their experience or emotions. Next example for intellectualization is rigidity in one's own perspective and looking for one-sided evidence that supports one's perspective. Conclusion: to protect ourselves against anxiety and stress, our ego setups mechanisms which are known as defense mechanisms. They are unrealistic and operate at the unconscious level. They are usually exercised in combination. They often failure, alleviate anxiety and deprivation and work as protection from feelings of inadequacy. Normally, they are adjunctive reactions and may be positive or negative. We discussed some different defense mechanisms like repression, projection, rationalization, regression, etc., which help us to better understand the classification of defense mechanisms with personality. We will continue discussing types of defense mechanism in the next extended session. Thank you.